Before I begin this unbelievable story, make sure you hit that subscribe button and stay tuned, because what you're about to hear will leave you stunned. This is not just a tale of bullying, but a story of hidden strength, shocking revelations, and justice served in the most unexpected way. So don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping stories just like this one. Now let's dive right in. Because the day bullies targeted a shy single mom at a park, completely unaware that she was in fact an undercover FBI agent, everything changed in ways no one could have imagined, and it all started on a sunny afternoon in a quiet suburban neighborhood where parents gathered to watch their children play. Laughter filled the air, but beneath the surface tension brewed. For Maria Jennings, a reserved woman in her mid-30s with dark auburn hair usually tied back in a simple bun and glasses that made her seem like the kind of person who preferred to blend in rather than stand out, was sitting quietly on a bench watching her 7-year-old daughter Lily chase after a bubble wand. And to anyone else, Maria looked like just another single mom doing her best to give her child a happy childhood despite the challenges of life. But what no one knew, not even the parents who occasionally smiled politely at her or the kids who giggled near Lily, was that Maria wasn't just a mother trying to make it on her own. She was a highly trained FBI agent working in deep cover, specializing in criminal networks and undercover operations, and the park was her sanctuary, the one place she tried to disconnect from her double life and just be mom for a while. But on that particular afternoon, 3 local bullies, teenagers with too much time on their hands and an appetite for cruelty, decided they had found their next target, and unfortunately for them, they picked the wrong woman. Though they didn't know it yet, because Maria, despite her shy demeanor, carried secrets that could dismantle entire gangs, and while she desperately wanted to keep those worlds separate, fate had other plans, and it began when the bullies, Tyler, a tall, lanky 17-year-old with a cruel smirk, Jason, his stockier friend with a buzz cut and a temper, and Kendra, the self-proclaimed queen bee who loved to humiliate others for attention, spotted Maria sitting alone, and whispered among themselves, plotting to get a laugh at her expense, approaching with fake friendliness at first, making snide comments about her old sweater, the way she avoided eye contact, the fact that she seemed too scared to even speak up, as Kendra sneered, and while other parents glanced over but quickly turned back, not wanting to get involved, Maria lowered her eyes and tried to ignore them, reminding herself she wasn't supposed to draw attention. But when Jason knocked Lily's bubble wand out of her hands and Tyler kicked it into the mud, Maria's protective instincts flared, though she still kept her voice even as she told them to leave her daughter alone. But the bullies only laughed, circling her like sharks, taunting her with cruel words, not realizing they had just stepped onto dangerous ground. For inside Maria's mind, the FBI training she had worked so hard to keep buried outside of work surged forward, assessing exits, calculating threats, reading body language the way most people read headlines, and though she forced herself to remain calm for Lily's sake, she knew this wouldn't end quietly, especially when Kendra pulled out her phone, ready to record and post a video of their bullying online to humiliate the weird mom, who never talked to anyone. But as the taunts grew crueler, the park seemed to hold its breath, because while Maria appeared to shrink into herself, she was in fact preparing, her pulse steady, her senses heightened, and just when Tyler reached for her bag, thinking it might be funny to dump its contents on the ground, Maria caught his wrist with lightning speed, her grip like iron, and for the first time the teenagers froze, shocked that this timid woman had such strength. And Maria, in a low controlled voice that carried authority far beyond what they expected, warned them to back away. But Tyler, embarrassed, pulled free and laughed nervously, trying to save face. Yet something in her eyes unsettled him, because Maria's gaze was not that of a helpless mom but of someone who had seen darkness and walked through fire. Though the bullies still didn't back down, and as other parents started whispering, Maria knew she had seconds to decide whether to de-escalate or to show them a glimpse of who she truly was. But then, fate twisted further when 2 men in a black SUV parked across the street, men Maria recognized instantly, not neighbors, not parents, but members of the very cartel she had been investigating for months. And the realization hit her that she had been followed, that her cover might be blown, and suddenly the petty cruelty of these bullies became the least of her worries, though ironically their presence gave her a cover story, because if she handled this carefully, she could protect Lily, keep her FBI identity hidden, and simultaneously send a message to both the teens and the cartel that she was not a woman to be underestimated, and what happened next turned the park into a battlefield of secrets, betrayals, and shocking twists that no one who was there that day would ever forget.